Hello, welcome. This is the reading for the weekend. I hope you're doing okay. Thank you for your patience. I know I've been doing less videos. I know I haven't been doing as much collective readings or as many Zodiac videos like this. But my daughter just got diagnosed with something in the summer. And it's just basically meant that I've had the kids off for weeks and weeks, and she only just went back to school yesterday. So it's just been quite a long summer for me with the children. So I just really appreciate your kindness and understanding on that, because I just feel like, I know I'm not doing as many videos lately, so thank you for understanding, but I can only do what I can actually physically do each day. And I know the most important thing is for us to protect our energy and keep our energy at the best level we can possibly have it. So that is why I sort of have to practice what I preach, and I have to do that myself all the time. It's just go with the energy that I feel and what I can manage each day. So I'm sure you're in my soul family, all of you understand what I'm talking about. And some days we just can't do as much as we would like to, and it's just the way it is, and just being accepting of that. And I've done really well with that, I have to admit. Like, I've really done well with that. It's very natural to me now, because I've been practicing that for about 4 years. But I used to find it really difficult. Even 2 years ago, I'd sort of battle it and sort of feel like, you know, stressed and, oh, I'm not producing enough, I'm not doing enough. But I'm much more accepting of it these days, and I feel absolutely fine with it. But it's just the ramifications for the channel that I've been doing less videos and it's less contact with you. But she is back in school. She's in the special needs department every day at the moment. So she's quite happy going back in. So this is only day 2. So just bear with, because I'm a little bit tired. Oh dear. It's not easy living in this matrix. And the thing is, I know you've all got tons of stuff on your plate as well. And that's what it's like, isn't it? It's like very full on living in this matrix. And that's why it's important for us to just connect with spirit and pull back when it's really crazy, and just, you know, recenter ourselves in consciousness, you know. So now the exciting thing is, so super exciting. I got a new romance deck. You may have seen it, you may not. It's the True Love Oracle, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to use that for the relationship message, and for the message from our spirit guides, I'm using the Fairy Oracle. So whatever advice our spirit guides are wanting to give us. So we're just going to go into it, really, as usual. I've got hot chocolate today. I had to nip out. So I treated myself to hot chocolate. Okay, so we start off with Taurus. Taurus for the weekend, Friday and the weekend. Let's see, soulmates. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, so you're becoming a much better friend to yourself, which is fantastic. The soulmate card, every relationship you have externally is a mere reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. So you're getting on point. If you are single, you're getting on point with the vibration of the soulmate energy. If you are in a relationship, you know, or, you know, you're just starting a new relationship off, you're headed towards your soulmate, basically. Let's see what else we get. So being a much better friend to yourself, so important. Otherwise, if we're not a good friend to ourselves, we pull ourselves out of alignment most of the time. And it's not good to be out of alignment. You can't manifest your soulmate. You can't really manifest much when you're so out of alignment. Okay, so now you are. This is confirmation, Taurus, that you're getting in a better alignment. You've got the Magician card, which means you've got the magic touch, and you may have manifested something recently that's pretty cool. Something new may have come to light for you, and you've got the High Priestess. So you're actually in the process of maybe manifesting even more things, and perhaps things that you don't really at the moment know. You don't really know exactly what you're manifesting in some ways, because there's unlimited potential here with the High Priestess. You are definitely lining up to yourself much better, which is fantastic. You may be still quite private about a lot of what you're doing, but you're getting a much better spiritually based energy. And if you want a great physical life, we have to be coming from the center, from spirit. So Taurus, in this soul family, you are doing some fantastic work here. Now, the energies around you are quite cold at this time. You have got the Knight of Swords to the Queen of Swords. So you've been dealing with some cold energies, possibly people who can be quite blunt, possibly people that are very, very rigid in their thinking. You probably do have people around you who are actually do have some very good skills and are very good at what they do, but they could also be quite cold and quite rigid. They're difficult to work with. But I feel that you are dealing with these people very, very well, because with the Magician to the High Priestess, you're realising it's best not to get into direct conflict with these types of people or try too hard. Actually, let me go within. Let me sort my energy out. And that is a much clever way of doing it. So you're going to be quite beguiling, quite mysterious and quite attractive to people around you, because you're not going about things in your usual way here, okay, the next few days. So there is somebody saying, I hid who I really was from you. So somebody hasn't been in their true self with you, you know, and maybe at that point you weren't really being in your true self, so it was just a mere reflection. But you know, it's hard to be. I've been there recently, you know, and since my relationship broke down with my husband, I was very scared and I wasn't acting in my true self a lot of the time. A lot of the time I was in the false self, because it's sort of a protective mechanism that we do. When we feel frightened or scared, we often create a character, and it's a false self. It's not really who we are. Or we can drop into a lot of victim and negative thinking, and that's also the false self. So, you know, if you've had people in your life that have been a bit fake and they've not really been in touch with their true selves, unfortunately it is just letting you know that, you know, that's kind of where you were at. You know, and there is somebody here saying, I knew exactly what I was doing. So there is definitely some people, some energies that you've been dealing with that haven't treated you very fairly. And it really looks like, because they are quite bitter, they've got a lot of hang-ups about their own past, and they've probably projected that onto you. But the great news is, Taurus, you're becoming a lot more wise to it, and you're realising, rather than fighting those people or getting too absorbed in their problems or energies, you're just sorting your own energy out. And I'm telling you, it's so much more powerful. This weekend should be a very loving weekend for yourself, and feeling much more like good vibes in yourself, perhaps meeting someone, perhaps feeling like more connection coming back for you. Let's see what your spirit guides are helping you with. Abundance. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. So abundance comes, like money, actually flows through so much better the more connected we become to ourselves. Because the more connected and in tune and like the best friend to yourself that I said with the soulmate card, you know, the better friend you are to yourself, you're in a better alignment, and that means you're basically in a more vibrational alignment with source, and that's where all the money and the abundance is coming from. So Taurus, in this soul family, like literally, you're finding yourself, you're finding a better true self, better energy in yourself. And although there is still some cold, difficult energies around you, I don't feel like that can last for too much longer, okay? Because it looks like you are headed for some good financial stuff, and probably like an abundance of friendship and relationship as well, all improving. So it looks like good vibes for the weekend for you. Let's go into Virgo. Okay, self-respect. Wow. So this is just about you respecting yourself, obviously, but also there could have been issues of self-respect coming up in certain relationships. and you're sort of realising, you know, you do have to have that level of self-respect for yourself. So you're holding a very high vibration here, Virgo. You've got the King of Pentacles, so you have had some recent success here with being much more grounded in yourself and realising your value and your worth. And you know you've got a better connection to spirit. So some good things have been happening and there's been some good progress here in your life. And you've got the Hierophant, which is just showing how committed you are to a higher consciousness life, right? So yes, you know, it has taken a lot for you to get in your mastery. I will say it's probably taken a hell of a lot of effort, a hell of a lot of hard work, but Spirit is really encouraging you to keep going with that, and you are going to keep going with it. Don't feel frightened at the moment or worried that you are going to go backwards in any way, shape or form. You know, as a soul family of Virgos, you are basically now much more grounded in your true self. You know your true self, and you're not going to fall into a false self or a lower vibration now. You've learned a hell of a lot, you know, and you're basically the next few days going to find that you are really committed to yourself. So you don't need to feel frightened of any type of situation that may have previously pulled you down, okay? Because that isn't going to keep happening anymore. You know, all it's taking is dedication, perseverance, and faith. You know, like literally just keep reminding yourself, Spirit is watching me, Spirit's got my back. If I, you know, take the higher road and respect myself and do what's right for me and stay centered on that and just stay really committed to that, you know, that is the right path. So the energy around you is interesting. There had been some good stuff going on recently with the 10 of Cups. There may have been a celebration, or you may have met up with somebody and it may have really been quite nice. There definitely seems to have been some things to celebrate or be pleased about, but then this person is sort of taking their power back. So you may notice somebody is getting a little bit hardened again, but it's like probably more to do with their own past issues than it is to do with you. And the most important thing for you to keep moving forward with is don't get involved in other people's issues. Just keep focusing on your alignment. And that's what I'm being shown that you are going to do. And it's going to be easier for you than you may suspect. Okay. Let's see what this person's thinking. I'm starting to understand our connection. So there is some learning that is going on. And I would say that you are setting more of a baseline for that, which is really positive. It's not easy to do, and it does take mastery, because as an earth sign, you know, you want to do things the right way. You want to make sure you're doing the right thing, and it can be a bit confusing at times. But I think what you're doing here, Virgo, in this soul family, I've got Virgo in my chart as well, is you're just making sure that you stay on track at the moment. And as long as you stay on track, try not to get distracted by people around you and what they're saying or doing at this time, because they are starting to figure a few things out, you know, which is what this person definitely does need to do. You know, so if you just keep following your alignment and commitment to yourself, things will improve, okay? And your spirit guides are helping you with fairy spotting. It's time to go fairy spotting. It is said that seeing is believing, but in fact the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. So just believing in yourself, really. Spirit is saying, you know, Virgo, believe in yourself. You believe in spirit. Remember, spirit is helping you. The Hierophant card is basically a card of higher consciousness. So you're really supported by spirit at this time, and they want you to believe in them, that they're helping you. You are rising, and you know, your self-value is going up. some people may not like it very much, but they are starting to learn and they will have to learn, because you're not going to change your own journey for anyone. Okay, so it's good. Let's go into Capricorn. Capricorn for this weekend. It's really nice using these cards. Okay, so you've got here resolving conflict, all right, and you've also got the sacred woman. So the resolving conflict is kind of about resolving conflict in yourself. Everything starts within. So you've been resolving conflicts within yourself, and Spirit is helping you to do that. Spirit is most likely helping you to see things more clearly for the first ever time. And the clarity you're getting is going to be so amazing. It's going to give you all different mixed up feelings at first, but then over time, you're going to realise it was for the best, that you can now see certain relationships and situations a lot more clearly than you could before. You've got the Sacred Woman card. So that is like the divine feminine energy guiding you to be much more in tune with yourself and more committed to your own feelings than you have been in the past. You know, and you kept getting conflicted about whether to follow your feelings or follow your desires. But the thing is, desires kind of end in samsara, and we do have to stay aligned with consciousness and, you know, our true energy. And we've all got feminine energy, and the feminine energy is what helps us realise what our feelings are. And are we being true to our feelings, or do we keep pulling ourselves out of alignment of our feelings? So Capricorn, you know, you're really getting in touch with yourself at this time. You're really realising what's important to you, and that you can't sort of compromise yourself. No matter how much you may like someone, you can't compromise yourself for them. You have to keep everything aligned, you know. So let's see. I feel relationships will start to get easier for you. You've been putting in a hell of a lot of work to all of this, you know, to your relationships. You've been putting in a lot more work, a lot more effort, and even to other areas of your life as well. But you're just basically becoming more of an expert when it comes to relationships than what you used to be. I'm only laughing because, I mean, I do have Capricorn in my chart as well. And I definitely haven't been an expert at relationships, you know. And I've often felt very conflicted. And most of the time that's just because I couldn't really resolve the difference between I really like someone, but I also do like myself. And how do I make the compromise? How does that work? You know, and it's a very gradual process to finally choose yourself. You know, that's a very gradual process, but you've got the Fool card, which indicates that you are now able to choose a new direction, a new approach, you know, whereby you do tune into your emotions more, and you are able to resolve the conflict and see clearly what you need to do in various relationships, you know. So this is a new beginning for you, and it's a good new beginning. You do feel more excited, you feel more fresh, you can definitely see more clearly how to approach certain relationships, and that's because of the hard work you've been putting in to your own growth. Now somebody has sort of, you know, you've got the energy here possibly of two people, or it could be the same person. So I'll read it both ways, but you have got somebody here who's sort of been giving up a little bit lately. 9 of Wands reversed. They could have been letting down their barriers a little bit, or, I mean, for me, the 9 of Wands reversed is kind of like not really persevering. It's like somebody who sort of gives up a bit. And then you've got the energy of the Knight of Cups, which is actually somebody that is actually true and caring and kind. And that could be a friend, or it could be somebody in spirit. So, you know, there could be somebody that kind of weighs things up and then realises they do want to be your friend. They do sort of, maybe not apologise, but they want to kind of give an olive branch out to you here after kind of being a bit like, I don't really need you, but deep down they do care, okay? I feel that is very much the case, and mainly because you're working so many things out. It's like, Capricorn, you just want to move forward with your life, with fresh eyes, much more in touch with yourself, not giving yourself away to anybody, you know? So I feel it's getting easier for you to know how to proceed with certain relationships. And yeah, there is somebody here that could definitely be turning it around a little bit and being a bit nicer to you in the coming few days. Alternatively, there may be somebody that's kind of like not really in the picture at the moment, but there's actually somebody else that could be more giving turning up, okay? Let's have a look at what they're thinking. There's somebody here saying, I love you unconditionally. I mean, I do get a strong sensation there's somebody in spirit that is trying to help you through all the twists and turns and all the difficulties you're going through. But also, it just feels like there's somebody that does really care about you, even when they sort of, I don't know, give up on you or seem like they don't need you. The bond still remains. But the main thing is, you know, we don't have to cut cords with people, but it's just always remembering your alignment. And I think that's what, Capricorn, you're really working on now, is how do I keep certain relationships there, but make sure that I stay in alignment and I don't sort of, I don't know, either panic or get sort of disheartened and then, or conflicted, and then pull myself out of alignment just to please other people. I just don't see you doing that now. I feel like it's just a fresh start for you. And you're going to be much more honouring your feelings and feeling less conflicted about how you deal with different situations. So that is going to be much more helpful for you. Stargazing. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. So there is definitely someone in spirit who is helping you now learn to be a little bit more in touch with your feelings, to notice what your feelings are, and to then take action upon that, rather than just thinking about pleasing somebody else or worrying about somebody else and what they think, or sort of like accommodating other people when it's going to be a detriment to you, you know? I feel like this is a new step for Capricorn. So you could find that certain relationships moving forward are going to be a bit more easier, you know, because you're making that commitment to yourself. And there's definitely someone in spirit helping you do all of that, by the way, because there's a couple of indications there that there's someone in spirit helping you to be more in tune with your feelings. I think that's the biggest part with Capricorn, because I've got Capricorn in my chart. My mum's a Capricorn, and one of the hardest challenges is, you know, remembering to honour your feelings, because that's difficult a lot of the time for Capricorns, depending on what your moon is, of course. Okay, so we're going to Aquarius. Okay, so you've got the Serendipity card, and Serendipity card is basically about things happening unexpectedly good. You know, you don't expect things to go well, but they do out of the blue. Okay, so out of the blue, things getting better for Aquarius. Right, you've got the Eight of Pentacles to the Fool, which just came out for Capricorn. Let's just shuffle again. You know, there's obviously a new beginning here, because the serendipity indicates something new happening, which is good, out the blue. The Fool card is something new. You've obviously been putting a lot of work with the Eight of Pentacles. You've got the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you've been more committed to yourself. You've been making some slow, steady progress. Maybe a lot slower than you would like. Okay, I understand. But you have been extremely focused. Sometimes you may have come across a bit boring or a bit serious. I've got Aquarius in my chart. And I know that I have been a bit like that. But, you know, it's what it takes, you know. For some of us, we have to be a bit serious and we have to be a bit slow because it's hard, you know. It's hard trying to break our old patterns. But you've got here the Wheel of Fortune turning. So Spirit is obviously recognising, Aquarius, how hard you are trying to, you know, be different, basically, to be more kind to yourself, to allow more joy into your life. And so the Wheel of Fortune is going to be turning the next few days with the Serendipity card as well. There's definitely something good happening for you the next few days. It could be money related, it could be relationship related, could even just be you feeling a lot better, a lot happier, because the Wheel of Fortune does mean sort of like a happy new chapter, a more fortunate period of time. And you've probably been waiting for that for quite some time as well. Okay, so you've got somebody here who's been a bit of a risk taker, okay? They've got the Four of Pentacles reversed. So they can be a bit of a risk taker, this person. And they've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is somebody who is probably single. They're going to be getting themselves in a bit more of a sensible position. They're actually having a think about things and realising, look, you know, I don't need to take silly risks. I probably need to be a bit more sensible and value the people around me, okay? So there could be somebody here that's having a bit of a wake-up call at the moment. There's somebody saying, I love you unconditionally. So, you know, there's somebody here that actually does really care, and they may have gone through a bit of a funny patch lately, but it looks like they're getting themselves into a better position whereby they would be more receptive or more kind. This is definitely somebody who is single, you know, but they are in a good position. And the Wheel of Fortune, something good could be happening with you and this person. Stargazing, when you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. So you're basically, Aquarius, more committed to yourself than you have been in the past. It's been a slow progress, because I know with Aquarius, often what can happen is we care too much about people around us. We care too much about doing things for everyone else, but we can be a bit cold towards ourselves. With this card, this is all about intuition. So your spirit guides are saying that they're supporting you to be more intuitive, more grounded with your own needs. And that is now leading you to a more fortunate period of time. Okay, so something very good is likely to happen the next few days that will pick you up. Okay, let's go into Gemini. Okay, you've got forgiveness. Okay, so forgiveness. The first thing is forgiving ourselves, because we can only do what we can do as per our level of consciousness at any given point. You know, it's just the way it is. And also once we forgive ourselves, it's much easier to forgive others, isn't it? So somebody could also be forgiving towards you. This could work both ways. But, you know, definitely if you're more forgiving to yourself, then that is going to create an energy of forgiveness in others, you know. So just allow for that, really. I mean, that's what you're allowing for. You've got here the Eight of Pentacles. You've been working really hard lately, but you are becoming an expert at what you're doing, okay? You're becoming much more expert, and you do have to forgive yourself for where in the past you may not have really known what you were doing and you may have made some mistakes along the way. You know, because like I say, it is what it is. You could only do what you could do at the time, but you're now becoming more of an expert at how to deal with situations. So you're realising, okay, I could deal with that differently now, and then that wouldn't happen. So you're getting a lot more mastery. And you've got the King of Cups, and kings are symbolic of mastery, and the cups is obviously spiritual and emotional alignment. So you're very much protected by someone in spirit at the moment. Someone in spirit is definitely helping you on your path. But you are gaining in your mastery and expertise over your spiritual alignment and your emotional alignment, and you're getting a lot better at that. So you'll be able to judge situations a bit better. You'll be able to react to situations a bit better going forward. And you should be feeling better the next few days as well. There's somebody connected to you that's trying to make decisions. They've definitely been trying to weigh things up, and they may have felt quite confused at times, or find it hard to get a healthy balance, yeah? This person's taking some time out, and they're sort of really reviewing things, and that's a really wise thing to do. They're going to come out of it taking much more wise action. So if there's somebody around you that's a little bit quiet at the moment, and you know they're sort of weighing things up, just try to be patient. I think you can, because you've got the King of Cups, which is the mastery of your emotions and your spirituality. So I think you can be patient, actually. But it's reassuring, because this person who has been a bit confused or trying to get a better balance, it looks like they probably will. So give them a bit of a chance, because they might surprise you the next few days. Maybe not over the weekend, but maybe next week this person may surprise you. And they are actually saying, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. So somebody around you is learning a lot at this time. So there is a lot of forgiveness and stuff between you and someone else, but also for yourself first and foremost. I just see so much progress here for Gemini, like loads of progress at the moment. And so you've just got to take a bit of time for yourself, really. Your spirit guides are talking about friendship. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. So your spirit guides are going to be connecting you with friends. They're going to be connecting you with people that will help you. You know, in fact, even your spirit guides, even if you don't have direct communication with them, they are there helping you. The more you help yourself, you see, because once we're a friend to ourselves, that's the only way we're going to manifest these friendships, right? And we pull spiritual energy, you know, our spiritual friends towards us when we're friends to ourselves. So there's some amazing stuff happening here. Basically, the next few days for Gemini, don't worry about somebody who's a bit quiet. They're going to come forward with more wise actions going forwards. That is going to become apparent. I think there is a forgiving energy between you and somebody else. And I think what I'm being shown is, Gemini, you are just getting so much in your mastery of your truth, and you're being kinder to yourself. So you're going to be able to handle a certain situation which you may not have handled very well lately. You're going to be able to handle it a lot better. So that is Gemini. Let's go into Libra. I don't know why I'm a bit snivelly. I don't know why, because I've not got a cold or anything. Oh, you've got the Divine Masculine. Interesting. Okay, so, right. Looks like you're coming into your own Divine Masculine energy a bit better. You know, something we find hard in this soul family as Libras is setting boundaries and being more direct. You know, being able to be direct and boundaried really is a byproduct of just following your own truth and being in your own alignment. Gilbert, hey darling, sorry. Oh dear, my bracelet fell off and I thought I don't want him to suddenly chew on it. Yeah, so getting into your Divine Masculine energy, Libra, is helping you to just apply your alignment. So you might have known for quite some time what your spiritual alignment is, and you've been learning about that, and you know in your truth now. You kind of know what your truth is, but it's now you're going to have the divine masculine energy to just communicate that, which is good. So that you don't get stuck in being submissive or people pleasing or just trying to be too harmonious. Yeah, you've got the Seven of Wands, which means that you won't get manipulated by people anymore. And you've got the Chariot card, which means, all right, you are really up against it at the moment. I do perceive from these cards that you've got multiple things going on at the moment, and it's probably overwhelming. But it's a spiritual quest, you know, it's a spiritual initiation for you, and you are going to rise to it. You are going to be progressing at this time, you know, because you basically now know your truth, and you basically are now more equipped to communicate your truth with others, you know, in a sort of conscious way, which is good. Because it will make your relationships with yourself better, but then also relationships with others better. So it's a testing time, a lot going on, but it's going to be so worth it, because you've got here in your external energies, you've got the World and the Star. You've got the World and the Star. So there's infinite possibility here. The World cards could mean a completion, and now a much better alignment. It's like you're completing a karmic cycle. You could have had some kind of revelation and realization about where you may have been manipulated, and you are now realizing what your alignment is and what you need to do. And so it's closing down an old karmic pattern that was very challenging to you, and a new era is opening up, a new pathway is opening up, which is going to be much more your wishes fulfilled. So you're getting a lot more clarity over how to proceed. And somebody's saying, I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. So you are really teaching somebody else. You're both learning. Gilbert hasn't done that for ages. He used to do it all the time. Chew, 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 or scratch when I'm doing readings. Oh dear. Shine from within. Looks are only skin deep. True beauty shines from within, and it's time for you to shine. This is a time for self-acceptance and revealing your true beauty. Okay, so this is a spiritual initiation for Libras in this soul family to really honour your truth, to really be in touch with it, and now to be able to apply it to the external reality, which is the hardest part. Well, it's not necessarily the hardest part, actually, because if we don't know what our truth is, and I didn't know my truth for ages. After I left my husband, I didn't really know what my truth was. And even sometimes now it can be a bit changeable. But that's just, it gets more and more clear as time goes on. And so, you know, yeah, you know your truth, and it's the next few days you're going to be applying it much better. You know, a situation basically could finally shift for you, which you really deserve. So it's good news. Okay, so we'll go into Leo. Okay, boundaries. Okay, so it's just thinking about your boundaries, really. And boundaries, I've just kind of said, I think, in the last reading. But for Libra, boundaries really start off with your truth, don't they? And being in alignment with your truth. And if you know what your truth is, but you keep pulling yourself out of alignment with it because you're trying to accommodate other people, or you're getting overexcited or addictive or whatever it may be, trust me, I've been there, I've done it. As soon as we start pulling out of our alignment with our truth, that is when our boundaries break down. That is when we don't have boundaries. And Spirit is just reminding you of how important your boundaries are. Remember what your truth is and try not to fall into any old patterns around that, okay? It looks like you're going to be doing much better with your boundaries in relationships than you have done previous. Yeah, you won't be manipulated. Seven of Wands, right? You won't get confused or overwhelmed, you're gonna be able to handle different things that get thrown at you, all the emotions of life, all the busyness, and you're still gonna be able to hold your ground and remember your truth and say, no, I'm not falling back into old patterns that I've been in previously. I'm going to stand my ground. I know what I want. I know who I am. You know, you're going to be able to sort of like proceed in that manner a lot better. But you have got Queen of Cups, so you are sort of basically doing it in a very loving, kind way. This is not harsh energy. This is not horrible. This is just like exactly what you wanted it to be like. You know, this is exactly what you wanted. You just wanted to be able to express your truth in a very loving way and share that with others, and you know, for them then to respect your boundaries, like, because you're just showing your boundaries, you know. So there could be love on the cards for Leo, or you will be communicating your truth in a very caring way. There's somebody here that can be quite selfish. Alternatively, there could be somebody here that feels like they've won the lottery. They're very pleased. This person's very pleased with themselves. Either way, take it whatever way it resonates. They're either a bit selfish with what they achieve, and they sort of can be a bit smug, or they're just really super happy and they feel like really pleased at the moment. They've got the Knight of Cups here. This is a friendship. This is somebody who really cares about you. So there is definitely an energy of love and kindness here for Leo. I feel like there's a lot of understanding coming between you and somebody else, or between you and another situation. There's definitely understanding, and it feels nice, you know. It feels really nice. Oh gosh, just being near you is intoxicating. Oh dear, so interesting. Just being near you is intoxicating, Leo. There could definitely be love, or somebody who is quite obsessed with you, but there is caring here. But I feel as well you're sort of setting the tone, because you're not budging off your boundaries. You know what your truth is. You're not going to be manipulated anymore. Divination, embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. So you can see more clearly. Maybe in past relationships or situations, you couldn't really see clearly what was going on, and that's why you sort of got manipulated, or that's why you got into bad habits, you know, old patterns. I feel there's just a massive like sort of help from spirit at this time to help Leo see more clearly, so that you don't repeat patterns from the past, and you don't get manipulated, or you don't get too overwhelmed, and you're able to just be very like conscious and kind and loving and have your boundaries, and you're getting some good results the next few days, because there's definitely somebody here or a situation here that is meant for you, okay? So let's go into Aries. Okay, Aries for the weekend, Friday and the weekend. Inner peace. How lovely. Okay, so there's peace coming for you, and peace comes from non-attachment. When we don't feel reliant on others, and we realise that a lot of the time that is going to get us burnt. But when we actually get in touch with ourselves, and you know, we get the love from ourselves, it's like, wow, that is peace. So there's something here for Aries. If you're in this soul family, you resonate with this channel, you're an Aries, I've got Aries in my chart, you know, it's like boom, it's like you're realizing you've got the love inside yourself, you've got the power inside yourself. And actually trying to get it from other people is often very draining. You know, friends can drain you, partners can drain you because people always want to take more and more and more, unfortunately. Or habits and situations that we thought we once needed. Sometimes we realise we don't need those habits or situations anymore, you know, and it's because our relationship with spirit is enough. You know, our relationship with ourselves, with spirit, is actually enough. More than enough. So there's a great shift going on here for Aries in the soul family. Feeling more peaceful. Less needy. You've got the Four of Cups. You were fed up. You were very fed up, and things may have felt quite stagnant. And it may have been like you were sort of waiting for something good to happen, but it just felt like nothing good was really coming because you kept comparing things or something like that. But Nine of Cups, the next few days, you're going to realise you've got it all. This is definitely about Aries realising, oh my God, I get it now. I am getting all my love from Source, Spirit, my joys, you know, my passions. You know, and it's making you more peaceful. You're definitely going to be feeling like your resources are good, your abundance levels are good, your energy is good. You could also feel very happy, like your wishes are kind of being fulfilled at this time as well. Something good happening, because it feels like there has been a period of time that's been quite hard work for you, and it probably shouldn't have lasted as long as it did, you know. So there is a energy that's been quite cold with the Queen of Cups reversed, and it's like people haven't helped you as much as they could have done, and that's not been very fair at all. That's really quite mean. But you've got here the Page of Pentacles for the next few days, so it looks like things are going to pick up. And there's kind of like an exciting turnaround, an exciting opportunity, or someone who's super excited about you. And it's like this new thing, whether it's a person or a thing, is so exciting. It's like, well, thank God for that. It's about bloody time, you know. It's about bloody time. But of course, you had to find it. You had to find it in yourself first. And that's what you're now doing. That's the level you are now at. That you have found something inside yourself that you didn't connect with before. But now you're connecting with it. It's spirit, really, the I am presence. Now you're connecting with yourself. Boom. There is stuff to celebrate. There is exciting stuff happening. There is more peace within you. There are good things coming. Because when you were wanting things to be different and feeling sad, it was like, God, the doors were just closing. It was cold. It's not been fair on you at all. There is somebody saying, I don't react when people mention you. And I think that is obviously the cold energy, you know. But there is a new energy here for sure. Page of Pentacles. And this, like I said, it could be a person, or it could be just a situation. And it's just going to make you feel really, really pleased and excited, you know. And I feel it's something more to do that's connected with you. So you're just feeling more at peace with life. And they're giving you fairy focus. No, stargazing, sorry. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Or it is in there. I knew, it's because I read this card a couple of times today. There's a lot of intuition coming out. We've just had a new moon, I believe. So your intuition will flow more freely, reveal what you need to know about your situation. Spirit is helping quite a lot of us in the soul family at this current time to be more in tune with ourselves. And that's where all this spiritual energy is coming from. And it's making us a lot more peaceful. It's making us less needy. We're realising that those, like a relationship or an addiction or something we used to enjoy, we just don't rely on it like we used to, and we're more at peace because we're happier in ourselves. So there's going to be something to celebrate the next few days, something that just kind of confirms for you that you're on the right track. And it will be good. You'll be very pleased. It could be something to do with work. It could be something to do with money. It could be to do with a relationship. It could even be to do with a child. But it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be refreshing. And you feel very peaceful about it because you know deep down it's come from this new connection you found within yourself. Okay, so we're going to Sagittarius. I don't really like saying Sag. I just write it because I can't spell Sag. I've always thought I'm a little bit dyslexic on some words. My daughter's actually getting tested for dyslexia next month, I think. No, November. Right, Sagittarius. Ooh, Divine Feminine. Okay, so take a deep breath. The energy could be quite emotionally overwhelming at this time. It could be quite dreamy, and you could find yourself having a lot of different thoughts crop up, right? So it's like the feminine energy is very close to the surface, much closer to the surface than the masculine. So everything is much more in tune and in touch, but then also we feel it much more intensively when we've got a lot of feminine energy. You know, and that's good because obviously it means we can really connect to our true self rather than a fake self, but it's also quite overwhelming at times. So you might have to take a few deep breaths, Sagittarius. You know, take a few deep breaths, be patient, give yourself a bit of relaxation time if you can. Pull back from certain interactions because when we're in our feminine and everything's close to the surface, it's not the best thing to be around a lot of people because obviously people can trigger us. Oh dear. Right. Ooh. Okay, so you've got the Magician card, which is good. You've been getting yourself into a higher alignment and you've understood the fact that you have to honour spirit and the fact you don't really know a lot of the answers at this current time, but you are aligning to spirit nonetheless. You are putting your faith in spirit nonetheless. And this has put you into a positive energy, considering that you've got the Devil card here, which is indicating some tricky energies that come up for you. There could be some pain body, some depression or negative thinking around this time for you. Just know that this is a temporary situation. With the Devil card, it is just always temporary, okay? It's a temporary experience. And spirit is, I feel, gauging whether you can stay aligned, whether you can stay conscious. How conscious can Sagittarius stay at this time? Because if you can stay conscious through this temporary, tricky situation or time frame, you will accelerate your spiritual awakening much, much faster. So that it's like spirit is working with you to clear some energies at this time, and it's requiring a lot of spiritual muscles on your part to stay centered, but it's going to be so worth it if you can stay as centered as you possibly can, because you'll come out the other side of this like a magician, you know, a higher vibration than you were before. So you've got my love if you're purging. I've got Sagittarius in my chart and I've been purging and I've been in feminine energy myself. Now, somebody connected to you has been a real warrior. They've got way too many mind patterns, way too many thoughts run through this person's head. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, they listen to those thoughts and then they get themselves in a right state. They've got the Ace of Pentacles, which means there's definitely a new opportunity coming for this person, and I think they're going to grab it. I think they're going to grab this opportunity because they know it's worth grabbing, right? And this opportunity is most likely with you, but whatever it is, take it how it resonates. Your person's going to grab an opportunity because it's so great, it's undeniable. And I think that's why it's important at this time to just keep reminding yourself that any difficulties you're having are very, very temporary, okay? Let's see what your person's thinking. The key is for you to stay in your high vibration, to care for your pain body, to care for your emotional and spiritual experience, to care for it and to be in touch with it, but not to get lost in it, not to get overtaken by it, because there's some temporary challenges and it looks like things are gonna come good, because I can see somebody here grabbing an opportunity. There is somebody here saying, I don't react when people mention you. So there's obviously somebody here that does have a lot of mind activity and probably to do with you. They've got very triggered previous, probably even fairly recently. But it looks like they're going to try and take a new approach or a new opportunity here. Oh, Gilbert is snoring away. It's hilarious. Oh, dear. He must be tired as well, because he hasn't had much rest lately. Because there's been people at home all the time and he's not used to it. It's usually just me and him and he can just sleep. Right, now he's asleep. Wait for winter. During the colder months, the fairy queen of winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes, as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. So did you notice that? Your intentions are the highest good of all, and you've got the Magician card. And I was saying that Spirit wants you to stay very high vibrational, stay in your highest consciousness that you can. And I know that's really challenging when the divine feminine energy is bubbling up all the time and it's trying to create a bit of a storm inside you. But Spirit is saying, if you keep your vibe high, what they're helping you to do is to manifest something that's going to be really beautiful come the winter months, or I want to say the next, say, 4 months. If you're not in the winter, you might be coming up to your summer. All right. So it would be the next 4 months. Something is going to take into a beautiful shape for you. So hang in there and keep doing what you're doing. Let's go into Scorpio. I'll just take a bit of my hot chocolate. Oh, yeah. Right. Scorpio. What is going on with Scorpio this weekend? Serendipity. Okay, so something could really good could happen out of the blue. Okay, there's some really sweet, loving vibes coming out of the blue for you this next few days, Friday and the weekend. You're tuning into such a sweet vibration. You've got the Magician, so that is definitely confirmation that Scorpio is aligning to a higher vibe. And so you have sort of got the magic touch, and you have been manifesting things recently and you were getting some really good results. You may have got a bit confused recently, and you may still be a little bit confused the next few days, but hang in there, because you're actually learning so much about yourself, and the more you learn about yourself, all that confusion is going to clear out, and then you're just going to proceed forward absolutely fine. There's just some things inside yourself that you've needed to iron out. So I don't think you have to abandon anything or cut anything off. It's literally to do with getting more in tune with yourself, more clear on yourself. And once you've got that clarity, you'll know how to manage a situation in a much more effective way. And then something good's going to happen because of that. You've got somebody here who has got commitment here to you, but it's very slow. You know, there is loyalty there. And this person may receive money from multiple sources. They've got the 8 of Wands reversed, so they may be quite quiet the next few days. But try not to be reactive to that, because the reason it's quiet is so that you can turn within. Whenever there's something quiet going on out here, it's because Spirit wants us to use the time to turn within, to really understand what your true self is, not the false self. It's like sifting between what's false and not really me and what is really me, because in the soul family, that's one of our major things, and it's hard to decipher. Sometimes we really do think the false self is who we are. I've been through it myself the last 4 years on and off, and it's such clarity when you start breaking down the false self and you're getting closer to who you really are, what your truth really is. And that's why there's quiet time so that you can do that work. And something very good is going to come out of it, and you'll be really pleased. So don't worry if someone's a bit quiet. Somebody sort of is holding back. They know they've upset you or let you down in some way. And they're saying, I know that I crossed the line with you. Okay. And that could have created the confusion. That could have made you feel torn. But you're getting clarity on it. And, you know, you're able to see the next few days how you could have played it differently. And that's going to give you so much more information for how to move things forward. Okay, so you've got the wait for the winter card, but you've also got life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. The sun represents consciousness in the tarot. She reminds you to shine your light and reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So, you know, you might not really like to hear this, Scorpio. It's a bit heavy for the weekend, but all I'm saying to you is you are actually manifesting something out the blue to happen that's going to be really good. Because you're in a higher vibrational energy with the Magician, there's just a little bit of work to do the next couple of days to really connect with what your truth is, and just get even more clarity on how to navigate something. And Spirit is helping you to become more conscious so you can see more clearly how to deal with something, you know. And by the winter or the next 4 months, this situation is going to be much clearer, much sweeter, much more positive. So you're gaining experience and clarity all of the time on how to deal with a situation that is quite slow progress. There will be progress the next 4 months. Okay, so let's go into Pisces. Okay, forgiveness. So this is primarily forgiving yourself, because we always start off with the self first and then it manifests outward. So you're sort of forgiving yourself for some of the difficulties you've had, probably to do with the inner child and where you may have felt very needy in the past or frightened in the past. And you're sort of forgiving yourself for those things because, you know, you couldn't really do anything about it at the time. You were trying your very best with what you could do. And now you're in a more fortunate period of time where you're getting a lot more clarity and peace within yourself, and you know, you're loving yourself more. You are going through a spiritual initiation. You are moving forward and progressing. This is definitely a challenging time for Pisces. This is kind of what you've been going through recently. It has been challenging. Now, it does take courage for you to move forward. It takes courage for you to figure out what's my truth, what's my alignment, and how do I proceed. But you can do it. You're gonna do it. You can do it. There's maybe a slight delay with something before you can proceed with it. But I think you will. There's somebody here, an energy which is amazing. It's a very healing energy. There's somebody here that's very committed to you, Pisces, or a situation that is really meant for you. With the Hierophant card, there's something about consciousness. There's also the Temperance. I feel like there could be somebody that wants to apologize, or somebody that does see themselves committing to you, or a situation that is really divinely meant for you. And it's kind of putting you through your paces, and it's tricky for you to navigate this situation. You have to kind of slay a lot of your inner child wounds so that you can have the courage to proceed, you know. But I feel you will. I really feel you're gonna do this. I don't think you're gonna run away from it at all. Now, there's somebody here saying we need to let each other go. You know, that could be a past energy, or it could be a situation and a pattern that you've decided, yeah, we need to let go of this pattern. We need to let go of this habit or dynamic, because it's not healthy, and it's taking a lot of courage for you to break this pattern, to not keep falling back into this pattern. But I really feel it's a groundbreaking time for Pisces in this soul family, whereby you are going to do it. You're definitely going to break a karmic pattern, because you know you are ready to align to the next level of your life. And you've got more consciousness here, Spirit, with the Sun card supporting you, with sunshine, bringing lots of life-giving energy, reminding you to shine your light and reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So I do feel a strong sense of like inner child stuff, but the main thing to focus on is that you are being tested by, I would say, a tricky situation that's been reoccurring and annoying. It's probably the least way of describing it. It's probably been really annoying. But you can only forgive yourself for where you were at the time, and that's why you dealt with it the way you did. But this is now a groundbreaking time for Pisces, where your level of consciousness is going up. Spirit is helping you to recognise what you need to do. And yes, it does take courage, but you are going to move forward in a much more peaceful, enlightened way, you know, and you're going to be manifesting a much better situation going forward, because you are going to deal with things differently now. Okay, so that is for Pisces, and we will go into Cancer. Let's see what we get for Cancer, because the last reading was a bit it was all about giving something up that we no longer resonate with. Okay, and it could have been a relationship, or it could have been a situation that we just don't resonate with anymore. So let's see what we get this time. Reparenting yourself. Oh, that is so cute. I love these cards. These are my new cards. They're the truth. I'll just quickly show you in case you haven't watched the whole video, because I always share what cards I'm using at the beginning. So reparenting yourself. Yeah, you're Cancer. You're just being ultra nurturing and kind to yourself now. You know, that is a reflection of your relationship with Source. When you're kind to yourself, that is you connecting with Source. So you can imagine the wonders that this is going to be doing for you now. You're walking away from troubled times. It has been quite dark for you at times with this Eight of Cups, and it's weighed heavily upon you, and it's been a long, hard road. But in the next few days, you're going to realise that you are on more solid grounds. You've got the Four of Wands. You're going to be celebrating a milestone. You know, this is a massive milestone for Cancer in this soul family, for us to finally learn how to be kinder to ourselves, how to honour our true self, which is very nurturing and kind and sensitive, you know. And you're just more grounded and stable, so you can handle situations better. You're not getting so knocked down all the time or getting caught up in drama. So you're going to be pleased the next few days, and you're building something amazing, because I just want to show you straight away, you are dealing with somebody or an external energy that's also got the Four of Wands. So there's something here that is becoming more stable. Okay, so you're going to be manifesting something that's worth celebrating, that is more stable. There is an energy here, a King of Swords. This is a masculine energy that can be quite cold emotionally, and this person is reviewing something, and it will go in your favour. This will go in your favour, okay? And it's going to be something worth celebrating. I left you before you could leave me. So there's somebody that's been in fear. There's somebody that's been scared. There's somebody that's been cold. But what we see manifesting for Cancer the next few days is this beautiful milestone, this beautiful home, or this beautiful solid foundation that's going to make you happy, that's going to make you feel more secure. You know, if you're doing this work, reparenting yourself, you're making this, you know, journey. It's like all this time you've been doing stuff, it's been bloody hard, you know, and it's taken much longer than you would have liked. But now you are finally getting somewhere with this. You know, we are finally getting somewhere with this, and we're finally reaching a more nurturing and solid place within ourselves. So there's something good happening externally for us the next few days. And there could be, for some of you, a marriage. There could be, for some of you, a stable relationship coming here. Or there could be some other good news. Moon energy. Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you are feeling confused, this fairy comes to calm your emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. So there is someone in spirit who is trying to calm you. Just be still the next few days is what they're saying, because with the moon energy, it can be quite triggering. Things get revealed upon the movement of the moon. So stay very centered and quiet because you're moving from what I would say is a very tricky energy into a much more positive energy. It's just staying centered. Someone in spirit is helping you stay centered while you still probably feel a little bit new to it all, if that makes sense. It feels like something is new, but it's been a long time coming. So spirit is trying to help center you and keep you calm until everything gets revealed. Okay, so it's an interesting time, and it's a very happy time for Cancer in this soul family. You know, this is like going from a very awkward chapter of our lives to a more happier chapter, and it is happening. Okay, so that's the message. I'm sending you lots of love and peace. If you'd like to book in for a tarot, you're very welcome. If you want to book in for a birth chart session with me, I can do that with you as well. And I do look at particular areas of the birth chart, so it's not just like looking at your astrology chart like normally. I will look at particular areas and really zone in for you, as I do with the tarot as well, and I look at your vibration of your name and everything like that. So I'm sending you lots of love and peace, and thanks for liking the video, giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. One love across Gaia, wherever you are.